What up, y'all? It's Chris here to give my UFC 94 afterthoughts real quick. Kind of last minute. Well, not last minute, but whatever. Watching the game and whatnot, on and off. Anyways, so actually, to be honest, it's kind of a lackluster event. I expected a lot more based on the card and stuff, and definitely in the final fight of the night, the main event, kind of didn't live up to my expectations. But I've been watching a lot of MMA the last few weeks, so maybe that's why too. Maybe a little MMA overload, although I don't really feel like it. But maybe I set my expectations too high. Either way, anyways, did alright on my picks. Went 5-2. Just gonna real quick touch up on the fights. First fight of the night, Clay Guida, Nate Diaz. Clay wins. I'm a Nate Diaz fan, so maybe this is a little biased, but I didn't like the fight. Clay didn't really do much in the first couple of rounds, or there was a couple of rounds, especially the second. He just held on. I mean, he was straight-jacketing Nate Diaz. He was just hugging him the whole time. It was ridiculous. I know why the ref didn't, break him up, because they were fighting for position, but Clay just stood there and held him against the fence. When Nate tried to get Kimura after Kimura or whatever, from a standing position when he was unsuccessful too. But I understand Clay was controlling the position, but it just made for a really lackluster fight. Something you don't expect from these two guys. And it's all on Clay Guida in my opinion. Nate was trying to do what he could, but Clay, like I said, had the straight jacket on him. So Clay wins the decision. He deserved the decision based on the way the fight played out, but I just didn't like the way he fought, and it is what it is. I think maybe he'll fight next the winner of the Diego Sanchez-Joe Stevenson fight coming up in a couple weeks. So it only makes sense, he'd be two Ultimate Fighter winners in a row, and in that fight he'd be fighting yet another Ultimate Fighter winner. Next up we had what was the next fight they showed? Carl Parisian over Dong Hyun Kim. Another disappointing fight. First round was pretty exciting. After that, pretty boring. Carl wins a split decision. To be honest, I thought the fight was a draw. Can't really say on the scorecard. I just don't think either fighter solidified themselves as the winner in that fight. I thought it was, a draw. I thought it was an even fight, to be honest. Wasn't really impressed by either. And, don't really know what to say else other than that. Next up, John Jones defeats Stephan Bonner by decision. A lot of decisions to start this card. Bonner, I picked him to win. I don't know. Jones put it on him. He had a lot of good throws, suplexes, whatnot. Gassed really hard in the late second. Definitely was gassed in the third, but Bonner just couldn't take advantage of it. Just couldn't effectively put him away. It was obvious in the third that Bonner needed to put him away with either strikes or submission, but even as gassed as Jones was, Bonner still wasn't able to hurt him or, get him on the ground as much as he tried. So, props to Jones. Look forward to seeing more of him in the future, seeing him develop. And as for Bonner, I don't know, he just didn't look all that good in this fight, against a lower level guy, a younger guy in the division. So it'll be interesting to see where he goes from here. There's a lot of good fights at 205 to be made. So, anyways, next up, Lyoto Machida over Thiago Silva by first round KO at the very end of the first round. I thought Machida would win this fight. Thought it'd be a boring fight, but he impressed me. Even before the KO, he had a lot more offensive maneuvers, I should guess. He was a lot more aggressive somewhat than usually. That's because Thiago was pushing him, but still, he threw a lot more kicks, a couple good flying knees, just was able to hurt Thiago a couple times, threw him down a couple times, pretty much controlled that whole first round, dominated it, and then obviously ended it on the, knocked him down and just knocked him out with a punch while he was on the ground right before the bell. Great win for Machida. I personally think he deserves the title shot at Rashad Evans next. Don't know if he'll get it. Depends on if it sounds like Rampage is going to get it if he beats Jardine coming up in March, I believe. But I think Machida's earned the fight, and I think he deserves it. If not, I don't think there's really anyone out there for him to fight. He doesn't really need to fight anybody else, in my opinion. Maybe Forrest, but Forrest is hurt. So, I think Machida earned his shot with this performance by far, and hopefully for his sake and his fans, he'll get it, because I'd definitely like to see him against Rashad. I honestly don't know who I'd pick in that fight right now. It'd be very intriguing to break down. On to the main event, George St. Pierre versus BJ Penn. Wow, I thought George would win, but not that easily, First round, not really too much happened. It was kind of a, them figuring out each other's game plans, it seemed. Although George kind of talked afterwards how he wanted to work on BJ's shoulder and kind of tire his arms out in that first round. Maybe it worked. Come second, he put BJ on his back and pretty much dominated the fight from there on. Dominated the top position. They were talking about how dangerous BJ's guard is, the announcers. I don't think so. I've never seen BJ submit anyone from his guard. Never really seen him put anyone in danger from his guard. It's good usually for defensive purposes for him not to get hammered on the ground, but that wasn't the case here. George St. Pierre was able to pass his guard plenty of times, really put it on him with punches and elbows. Really, the second and third rounds, he really made BJ work from the bottom, and that really gassed BJ out a lot. Having that extra weight and having all those punches dropped on you, it really wore BJ down fast. And, I thought BJ's cardio might be a problem, but it wasn't just his cardio. It was George St. Pierre making him work, even from a defensive position, and all the shots he was landing. He really took it out of BJ. Dominated the third round, dominated the fourth round. And I really don't know what else to say. The corner stopped it after the fourth, which I don't blame them for stopping it. There was absolutely no point in sending BJ out for the fifth. He had nothing left. He would have just took unnecessary punishment, and it's just no point for that. So I don't know, but a dominant win by St. Pierre anyway. Didn't expect it to be such a one-sided fight. Was very surprised that it turned out that way. But the good thing is, hopefully BJ Penn will go back to 155 and defend his title against Kenny Florian and numerous other challengers. And looks like St. Pierre gets Thiago Alves next, which should be an awesome fight. I know St. Pierre looked dominant here, but can't overlook Alves. Just thinking he'll blow through Alves. Alves is a guy that's actually as big, if not bigger, than GSP in that division, and he's got a really good style. Probably the perfect style to combat George St. Pierre and George St. Pierre's strengths, as long as he can avoid takedowns. It's going to be a really good fight. Really looking forward to that one when it comes. Hopefully it'll be soon. Real quick, I guess there was a controversy after the fight saying one of BJ's cornermen put Vaseline on his back in between rounds. I guess this way BJ wouldn't be able to get him, take him down. I don't know. So we're going to have to see how that plays out, but I don't think it would have made a difference either way if he did just sit in between rounds. BJ never really, aside from the first round, didn't really have a clinches where he was going for takedowns or anything where Vaseline would have helped GSP, but, I don't think it was GSP cheating. I don't know really what it was. It might have been to help open pores for his breathing. We'll have to see how it works out, but I don't think it would have made a difference either way. So, anyways, pretty good night of fights. Like I said, didn't quite live up to my expectations, but, it's good nonetheless. Machida exceeded my expectations, and GSP dominated in a fight that I didn't think he would dominate as much as he did. So, credit to him. Anyways, that's it for now. I'm out of here. Till next time. Bye.